Alright guys, we're doing a little bit of testing out here. I'm actually working with my son. Gonna do some benchmarking for this 2680 Xeon and a GTX 1080 blower style. Go ahead and scroll. So now there's two things we're gonna show you here, right? Right now we got all the settings are set on Epic, and you can see now when you're in the settings that there's a little bit of screen tearing going on, but you don't notice anything like that in game. Now Um, just for if you're new to the channel or here, or I mean, everybody's kind of new to the channel. The goal here is going to be to try and get the most FPS per dollar here. We're trying to this budget gaming, so we're trying to build the cheapest PC we possibly can while getting the best performance out of it. And so far, it seems like the one that's most consistent has been this setup. It's the Xeon E5 2680 version 4 paired with a blower style GTX 1080. Now, recently I also built a brand new, all new parts, a Ryzen 5 4500 with a Intel Arc A580. And when you load the Fortnite with the A580, it sets the settings automatically to Epic. But the one thing that's been pretty annoying about the A580 is that it doesn't seem to be consistent. Now, if you go to my channel, you'll see there is a video already with the A580, and I think we filmed that one with high settings, and it was like 80 FPS with high settings, versus this GTX 1080. We're running Epic settings with around 70 something FPS. Um, Now, anyway, so now when I say inconsistent for the Arc A580 is that sometimes you'll load into Epic and you will get 60 to 80 FPS pretty solid, and then sometimes you'll log in and only get like 30 frames. And it's not just at Epic. Even if you cut back frames and go down to a lower settings, a lower graphical setting, you'll still only get 30 frames. Now, the one thing that I was saying on the Ryzen that you can't change is, or not the Ryzen, but on the Arc A580, is that right now Intel says that you got to keep it in DirectX 12, which had me scratching my head for the longest time the other day when I was troubleshooting trying to get more frames out of it, because I had dropped it down to DirectX 11 and even performance mode, and the frames would shot up, but it wouldn't say, even though I was rocking like 200 FPS, it was just choppy as all hell until eventually I read the notification from Intel and went back and set it back to DirectX 12. I am sitting here complaining about the FPS not being steady or constant or on the Ryzen or on the Arc A580, but it's still very playable, no issue. Oh, this is great! First kill of the game. So anyway, I'm filming this here setup and I'm talking about the other one, and that's because I'm gonna do a more in-depth review eventually with that one. I'm gonna go back and check it out. But so I guess I'm kind of setting that up, killing two birds with one stone here. But wow, shield dueling in the air. That's hilarious. They're both bouncing on. It's gonna win. Don't get punked, bro. Oh, you're about to die. Anyway, I was still pretty happy with it. Like, yeah. So I guess quick live match here. This is a short run. The video was never really supposed to be more than 5 minutes. I think you get the point, though. I think the GTX 1080 is still like the biggest bang for your buck. If you want an in-depth on a breakdown on the entirety of the build, or if you want to see what it looks like, you can go to the channel when you're seeing this. If you don't see it right away, then within the next couple of days, I am going to start reviewing all the PCs that I've built recently. I think I have 3 or 4 laying around the house that are all various prices, but they're all consistently like $350 and less. If you're kind of curious, I've been getting into building computers recently, so I've been kind of like teaching myself as I go, and I've crammed a lot of information in a very short amount of time. So even though one of the computers I built was kind of jank, I very quickly figured out my mistakes and was able to go back. So I think I've been able to pretty consistently build $350 computers that they're playing like this. Like, you can play Epic Fortnite on it without breaking a sweat. Now, we are also going to be going into like AAA gaming titles and stuff. But I've been spending like a decent. I've dropped a lot of money in a very short amount of time in building PCs. So we're gonna be doing reviews of those. But now that I've kind of like cracked the code on what my go-to setup is gonna be, uh, I think we'll start talking about that and go into detail a little bit better. And yeah, so I think you see a lot of people talk about budget PCs, but it seems like no matter how many times or how many different videos or how many different channels you go to, the RX 580 is the go-to graphics card, and I guess it's because you're trying to buy them brand new. But like I can't justify buying RX 580 for $100 when you can get when you can get several cards. There are several GPUs that are perform way better than the RX 580 for half the price or equal to. So, again, if you're new here, go check that out. We're going to be talking about a lot of that stuff in the near future. All right, thanks for watching, and peace.